Hello everyone, this is Smalls of Black Knight Anime and Manga, and today we are going to be talking about chapter 1057 of One Piece titled The End. I know the scans had it as Final Curtain, but the official translation just has it as The End. So just first and foremost, I guess I'll just talk about the cover story first actually. Caesar Clown coming in to assist the Vinsmokes against Katakuri makes sense because he needs the kind of opportunity to escape. He's fully aware that even with his Logi ability, if he just flies off into the air, they got Haki. They'll mess him up midair. Even if they don't, he's probably been scarred from the last time he used that tactic in Punk Hazard by two non-Haki users taking his ass out of the air, Nami and Usopp. So, Big Mom Pirates, he probably feels like he can't pull that off if he couldn't pull it off with the Straw Hats. Ergo, trying to at least team up with the Vinsmokes makes more sense, and Vinsmokes most certainly cannot beat Katakuri without him, even more so with Oven nearby. Who, I'm not sure, would they be able to not beat Oven or not? Well, technically speaking, Oven was at least in charge of when two of them got captured, so maybe not, but probably closer than Katakuri at the very least. But both together? Yeah, they probably needed the poison gas. And even if the poison does have some effects on the brothers, Reiju can just... Actually, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole any further. But in terms of the main parts of the chapter, I was just going to briefly mention the recap theatrical portions a little bit more briefly. Because at the end of the day, a lot of it was just recap, and we also have the flashbacks from Momo's perspective. So this chapter had a lot of flashing back, both in the theatrical sense and internally inside Momo's mind. But overall, I know that the theatrical part, there's a little tidbit about the end of the theatrical piece towards the end of the chapter, which had the Korozumis are, born to burn. Let me just double check exactly what the translation was for that again, because I remember it being slightly less egregious, but no, it was just Kurozumi born to burn. It's a bit of a tongue twister when you try to say it without thinking. But either way, one, apparently the Japanese translations was a little bit less offensive and slightly more, Orochi-centric rather than a repeat of history that created this whole shtick to begin with, which I guess they didn't learn the fucking lesson. Regardless, it still sounded a bit, off-putting apparently, but nonetheless, it also... We have to remember that this is just a theatrical retelling. So, there's a good chance that Hiyori didn't even say that, and this is just a liberty taken by the storyteller. Which, either way, probably not the best idea. Like I said, just repeat of history, but I guess with a better head on their shoulders. I don't fucking know. They love burning shit too much. Yeah, fuck it. They're still a human. They can fuck up if they want to. The Straw Hats ain't gonna hold their hands for going forward anyway. Just from outside sources. Internally, that's their own shit. Regardless, the main chunk of the chapter is the final leaving of Wano. Mainly being two things. One, Momo and Kinemon being incredibly furious about Luffy leaving without telling them, or at least seeming to be leaving without telling them. Yamato joining them, also not joining the Straw Hats, which I'll get to on its own. And, the last little bit of the rivalry between Kid, Law, and Luffy when they jump down the waterfall at the same time instead of all taking the port. Good boys. Regardless, it's nice to see Luffy, give out that flag and really not even directly claim Wano as his territory. And the official translation made it more like those people are part of their crew, like honorary members, in a similar vein to Vivi. But maybe not exactly the same, but real time they have been with the crew for 10 years approximately, so about the same, technically speaking. Regardless, just, you know, not pretty blue and fan servicey. Regardless, that is kind of just the main through line. When you like list it out by point, it's not a lot. I think the most controversial part about the chapter is, one, a lot of its recap, and two, Yamato didn't join the crew despite her main character trait, aside from wanting to be Odin, being I want to be a Straw Hat. Well, apparently, I guess you decided to flip-flop those and just say, yeah, I think I'll just stay up Odin more. And then it should eventually get me out to sea. Whether that means just the final fight, which honestly is like a short ways away. And I've heard people say, like, you could have just traveled Wano in the week they were there. One of the very few weak points of Odin's flashback is that we don't know how much time it actually took him to go all throughout Wano. There were a lot of little stories that were kind of just skipped, hinted at. It might not have taken him a week at all. It might have taken him months. I mean, sure, Wano's not that big, but it's still a country with a lot of different areas. And he probably just didn't go, like, tour 5 minutes in each town either. He probably spent, like, a good week or two in each place learning the ins and outs of everything, and then getting into the little miniature stories that got him each scabbard. Now, sure, I'm assuming that, you know, Yamato wouldn't end up taking on her own new scabbards of her own by accident, so it wouldn't take nearly as long, but it probably would still take somewhere in the middle. It probably wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm just gonna just run around Wano for a day. No, that, at the very least, due to how the pacing of the flashback works, it definitely wasn't that quick of a trip. Like, it's just the pacing in this arc in general might hurt a lot of people's perceptions of certain things, and this is one of them. But at the same time, Oda also, like, said 5 times, or made Yamato say 5 times, I'm gonna join the Straw Hats. So it feels abrupt. And I know some people, like, honestly, Oda trolled the entire fan base. Because I know he might not watch American videos and stuff, but there has to be some knowledge that the fan base was debating over whether Carrot or Yamato would join. Because in these last 2 chapters, he made it very clear that neither of them are joining. He specifically gave sections in each chapter to point that both of them would not be joining. And even left us on a cliffhanger last chapter, making it seem like, oh, I've taken out one of the 2 people on your debate. Now that leads only number 2. Oh, psych, they ain't joining. Neither are joining. You don't get either of your furry waifus, hashtag nobody's a furry. Because nobody gets either. You don't get the cute bunny girl, or you don't get the transforming wolf woman that is a man. Honestly, Oda plays the whole Odin thing more for gag than he does seriously, which makes that bath scene a few chapters ago all the weirder. Regardless, and the side boob does not make it easier either. The constant side boob does not make it any fucking easier. God damn it, Oda. I'm gonna miss that side. Either way, both sides lost, and Oda's a fucking troll. I love it. I tried to stop cursing as much in reviews, but I guess I'm not mad. I'm just bewildered. I'm not even disappointed. I'm just going with the flow. But it's like, really, Oda? Really? I mean, fuck it. I'm seriously gonna try not to say that again. Either way, it is what it is at the end of the day. And we're done with Wano. We're on to the next big thing. But in terms of, like, what's left of Wano to explore, like, there are definitely plot points that were not covered in Wano. So I'm definitely going to try and make a separate video about that. I might hold off on it until the next break, though. I might do it solo, or I might reach out to another YouTuber or so and maybe collab on it. We'll see. Like I said, I'm probably gonna leave it tabled until the next break anyway. But tell me what you think in the comments about about the chapter. Leave your thoughts on the chapter in the comments, basically. If you liked my review on the chapter, leave a like. And if you want to see more, and if you haven't already,